Monday's feature film recalls a romantic theme of the 30s, a man, a woman and a bar in Cabo Blanco.
You leave Cabo Blanco, Marie. 6 o'clock this evening, there's a bus that stops outside the hotel. You be on it.
I heard you were a simple man, Giff, who came to Cabo Blanco and found contentment. Why should you care about a girl who has no passport?
Because she's being held here against her will.
I swear to you, if Toredo has picked up her passport, it's because he has his own plans for her. Is she beautiful?
Maria, right now they're playing around with your life. You could die here in Cabo Blanco.
No, I'm not going to go.
Charles Bronson stars in Cabo Blanco on Monday at 10:05 on BBC One.
And now we go over to Jan Leeming for a news report.
Fires are still burning in Brixton in South London after an evening of rioting. It began as a demonstration of anger after police had shot and seriously wounded a woman while searching her house. Then a crowd attacked the police station and gangs of youths began burning and looting buildings. 31 policemen and 5 civilians have been hurt. Mike Mackay has been at Brixton all evening.
This was the corner of Brixton Road and Loughborough Road 5 hours after trouble began outside the local police station. Petrol bombs rained down as riot squad police held the line behind their shields. Similar scenes were occurring all round Brixton as the disturbances spread in all directions from the Brixton police station. Fire and ambulance services trying to enter the area found many streets blocked off. At the corner of Cold Harbour Lane, a 4-storey building collapsed after being set alight by petrol bombs. The top 3 stories were flats over a furniture shop, but they were thought to be unoccupied. By this time, hundreds of firemen and scores of fire engines were dealing with burning buildings, mostly leaving blazing cars simply to burn themselves out. Throughout the night, dozens of cars were taken from their owners and turned into blazing barricades. Hundreds of shops within half a mile of Brixton Police Station were looted and wrecked.
Mike Mackay reporting. That's all from the newsroom for now.
Well, now we come to this Saturday evening's movie classic, Brighton Rock, which is introduced by Barry Norman.
Good evening. When Richard Attenborough was first cast in the leading role of Pinky Brown, the baby-faced gang leader in tonight's film Brighton Rock, Graham Greene, the author of the book from which it was adapted and co-author of the screenplay with Terence Rattigan, drew a sharp breath, shook his head and said, no, the lad doesn't look evil enough. But the Bolting brothers, who produced and directed the film, went ahead and signed the 24-year-old Attenborough anyway. And when the picture was finished, Graham Greene studied it carefully and announced himself quite won over and apologised for what he called his original misjudgment. Now that sounds like a typical piece of film company hype, but Graham Greene is not the man to lend himself to that kind of caper. And anyway, his original judgment was wrong. Attenborough was splendid in the role, and indeed not only was he sufficiently evil, but the whole film is quite noticeably tinged with evil. True, the Daily Mirror critic of the time described it as false, cheap, nasty sensationalism, and for his pains was soundly reprimanded by Mr. Greene in a letter to the editor. In fact, Brighton Rock, one of the first British productions to make extensive use of actual locations, is none of the things that the Mirror critic accused it of being. It's a truthful and honest film, and quite apart from Richard Attenborough's central performance, it's extremely well played by the likes of Hermione Baddeley as Ida, the blousy concert artiste, William Hartnell as Dallow, one of Pinky's gang, and as Pinky's girlfriend, the young Carol Marsh, whose career never quite lived up to the promise of this, her first picture. Best of all, though, is the way the film provides a cool, sharp look at the distinctly unglamorous lives of small-time crooks in post-war Britain and remains at the same time an engrossing and exciting thriller. Oh, and one other thing. Admirers of Mr. Greene, and aren't we all, will notice that one of his basic Roman Catholic preoccupations, that everyone, however bad, has the chance of salvation, has not been lost in the translation from book to screen. Hope you enjoy it.